It's 7 p.m. Hello, good evening, and welcome to our major news bulletin for the day. This is News 360. My name is Kwesi Asari.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Coming up in the bulletin this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
And coming up tonight, the new Patriotic Party regains majority in Parliament following Supreme Court ruling directing the Speaker of Parliament to allow dismissed MPs to serve until substantive case is determined.
Also coming up, reinstated Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin said he expects Speaker of Parliament to adhere to the Supreme Court's decision to hold on with the execution of his ruling on Thursday.
Also coming up tonight, parents of second cycle institutions incensed about the sudden change in the academic calendar.
In business tonight, Finance Ministry launches Climate Finance Division to tackle impact of climate change on livelihoods and access global funding.
And elsewhere in international news, North Korea sends 1,500 troops to aid Russia's war in Ukraine.
We're live on TV3 Ghana, on Facebook, all across the world on 3news.com. To the details of the stories this evening, the Supreme Court has directed the Speaker of Parliament to halt the execution of his ruling, which declared the seats of 4 members of Parliament vacant. This follows an ex-parte motion filed by the now Majority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin.
The new Patriotic Party side of the House, led by leader Alex Afenyo-Markin, filed an ex-parte application at the Supreme Court to stay the execution of the ruling of the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin. Seats of members of Parliament of Amenfi Central, Suhum, Fomena, and Agona West constituencies were declared vacant by the Speaker. In a rare development of the Supreme Court hearing the matter on a Friday, it ruled that the Speaker of Parliament suspend the execution of its decision pending the final determination of the substantive matter. Reading the 5-0 unanimous decision of the court, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono noted that declaring the seats vacant goes against the rights of the constituents and thus ordered Parliament to file their documents in defense of the suit in 7 days. The Apex Court also indicated that the Speaker's response to not receive service of the injunction notice was unsatisfactory. The order of the Supreme Court resets the status quo of the parliamentary seats, where NPP has 137 plus 1, while NDC reverts to 136 seats.
Meanwhile, reinstated Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin has noted that he expects the Speaker of Parliament to adhere to the Supreme Court's decision to hold on with the execution of his ruling on Thursday regarding 4 MPs. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, declared 4 parliamentary seats vacant after they filed to go independent.
This is MPP. The founders of our tradition use the court to do full right. And true to it, we are Democrats. We don't believe in violence. We don't believe in mischief and unnecessary political chaos. We came to court believing that the court will do right. And indeed, the court has just done that. The rights of those MPs have been reinforced, as well as the rights of those constituents who elected them. I will leave the Ghanaian public to peruse the full ruling of the court, and then the discussions can continue. But let me thank my colleagues in leadership, especially the hardworking Majority Chief Whip, for all the support and his industry. I thank senior members of Parliament, Uncle Joe Gatti, Honorable Kennedy Japan, not the least Uncle K.T. Hammond, and others who have been supporting me. Again, equally important are my colleagues in the backbench, especially those who lost their primaries. They've been with us thick and thin. The whole of last night we didn't sleep. We've been working all night. I myself, being a practitioner of our courts, made sure we put together a solid case. And this afternoon, we've had justice. Now, those NDC people who are, walking all over the place, proclaiming, if they know the law, they should now face us in the law. This is the majority leader speaking.
Interesting developments there. You just had the reinstated Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin. Now, just take a look at us, right now. Our sets. We've got our crack team of reporters. To my left is Mawina Egbeta, and of course, to my right is Joseph Akablay. They are going to fill us in on details and happenings of today's matter. I'll start off with you, Egbeta. You're going to tell us about the vacant seats and the timelines. Walk us through what you have.
My task here is pretty simple. Provide details as to how we've got here, how all of this started. It started on the 12th of October of this year, last Saturday to be specific, when Haruna Idrisu mounted a stage in Tamale in the northern region during the launch of a constituency campaign, and made that declaration that they were going to, when Parliament resumes, seek to have the Speaker declare 4 seats vacant because those individuals, in his estimated opinion, had crossed carpet with their decision to contest the next Parliament on a seat other than, or on a ticket of a party other than that which brought them into the 8th Parliament. So that's what kick-started the conversation. But before even Parliament could resume on Tuesday, we got the indication that the Majority Leader, who you've called reinstated, decided upon himself to take that matter to the Supreme Court, file an injunction, and seeking to have that intent of Haruna Idrisu arrested even before it could start. And so on the very fateful day, on the 15th of October, when they did, the House did resume sitting, Haruna Idrisu attempted to file that motion, and then the majority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin had cause to remind the House about his injunction and the processes he had filed at the Supreme Court, reason for which that motion which Haruna Idrisu initially sought to file was arrested. Now, the minority leader then, on that same day, attempted to ensure that what they had planned, that's the NDC minority, what they had planned would go through in deciding to invoke the powers of the Speaker to declare seats vacant. And it led to a series of debate, very intense debate that went on into the night, with the Speaker deciding to defer his ruling on the matter. And that ruling was delivered yesterday, October 17. The Speaker decided to declare those 4 seats vacant, and then adjourning Parliament till October 22. Between then and now was when they resumed on the 22nd of October was when that transition was expected to happen. But what we've seen today is October 18, the NPP caucus, led by the majority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin, went to court seeking an ex parte motion that the Supreme Court stays the Speaker's ruling. And then a 5-member Supreme Court panel, they put the execution of the Speaker's ruling on hold. And then what we are expected to happen is that the status quo before the Speaker's ruling will remain. So that's where we've come from and where we are at this particular point.
Thank you for the detailed information, Mawina Egbeta there. Let's go to Joseph Akablay. He is going to give us what happened in court today. He was at the Supreme Court, and that's where all of this unfolded. So, Joseph, tell us what happened in court today.
Quite interesting proceedings. First is the fact that it was an ex parte application that had been filed, and so that simply meant that the defendants in the case did not have the opportunity to be aware of this particular hearing. So just the lawyers for the majority that were making this request who showed up in court. And the arguments they made were to the effect that, look, at the time the Speaker delivered his ruling, they had informed him that they had filed a case in court, and so it's only fair that he held on to his decision and allowed the Supreme Court to determine the matter before proceeding. And so they said because he proceeded with the decision, it had resulted in injustice, in that 4 constituencies in Ghana will not be without members of parliament, even though a serious matter that requires constitutional interpretation had been raised. And so they asked the court to intervene to ensure that the rights of those members of that constituency are protected.
You know, Akable, let me just walk me through this. This ruling occurred in Parliament yesterday by the Speaker of Parliament. And today, just in less than 24 hours, the Supreme Court's jurisdiction is summoned. Now, does the Supreme Court sit every day?
I mean, the Supreme Court ordinarily, and earlier we shared a bit of the course list for this week, for instance, ordinarily they sit from Tuesdays to Thursdays. Okay. So they don't even sit on Mondays, and neither do they sit on Fridays. But there have been instances where they sit on other days that the court decides to do so, and it mostly depends on what requests the parties that are in court are making to the court to do. So obviously it would have meant that whatever process they would have filed would have been posted the Thursday. Right. And you heard the majority leader explain that.
We heard the majority leader saying that all throughout the night yesterday, they were vigorously working. What could they have been doing last night? It would mean
that they would have be drafting the application that they wanted to draft. They would have been putting together arguments and various records. In fact, the Chief Justice, in her decision, referenced the votes and proceedings of Parliament which they had attached to the application. Then they would have had to file it this morning when the registry was open, and again request for an expedited hearing, which from all indications and purposes is what transpired and was granted. As a result of that, the hearing took place this afternoon.
So this is not an application on notice. It is an ex parte application, essentially meaning that it was done at the blind side of the other parties. Now, in filing these processes, what do you have to go through?
I mean, ordinarily, it's a simple process. I mean, once you file it, mostly when you are filing a document, the registrar would have to indicate what date it should be heard. We have not seen the full copy of that document, but in terms of the normal procedure for ex parte application, you are simply telling the court that you have an urgent business that you want the court to intervene. Because if they are to go through the normal process, the other party may have as many as 14 days to even come and appear in court in the first place to respond to it. But there's a matter that, from the arguments they advance, they are saying that between now and Tuesday, people have lost representation, and on Tuesday, they were expecting changes to take place. Even the issue of the election of a second deputy speaker should have taken place per the orders of Parliament, the rules of Parliament. They would have to elect at the next sitting where a vacancy is created. And so those are all matters that they felt were of an urgent nature.
So where do we move from here? Where do we go?
So the Chief Justice actually gave additional directives for how the case should travel expeditiously. So first is that the defense side, they are supposed to file the statement of defense within 7 days. Then afterwards, within 7 days, they have to file a memorandum of issues. These are simply the key legal issues that the parties believe the court ought to answer. Then afterwards, the court says an expeditious hearing would take place to settle this particular constitutional dispute.
All right.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akable and Mawena Egbeta, for those very interesting details shared here. You're still watching News 360. Lots of you have been commenting on this very interesting subject. Keep your comments coming in on our Facebook page, and we promise to share them with the rest of the world. Meanwhile, a former Deputy Attorney General has expressed disappointment at the ruling of the Supreme Court. Dominic Ayine also noted that the development sets a dangerous precedent since it undermines the power of the Speaker of Parliament.
This is a very disturbing development. The reason is because, you see, for them to go ex parte, to obtain an ex parte order means that the Speaker was not on notice. Parliament was not on notice. And Parliament is just a stone throw away from the Supreme Court. You know, and ex parte orders are an anomaly. All right? They are used to address real emergency situations where irreparable damage will be caused if there is in the, you know, order is not obtained. All right? But in a situation where there was an attempt to serve, okay, an inter partes order, an order on notice, all right? And that service even violated the directive of the Chief Justice, you know, which is to the effect that a service on the Speaker and Parliament generally should be effected on Mondays, all right? Now, that's a Chief Justice directive that is binding on all registrars of the court and is binding on all litigants and parties. Yet the majority leader, or the former majority leader, I will continue to emphasize that, the Honorable Afenyo Markins, attempted to effect service on Tuesday and Wednesday. And when it was not, I mean, the service was not effected, he got frustrated, you know, and, you know, I mean, started throwing tantrums all over the place. Okay. Now, with this development, basically what you are doing, you know, is to tie the hands of Mr. Speaker and Parliament. The Speaker has a role to play. So each time Speaker says something, then you run to the Supreme Court. And, you know, the funny thing is that the Honorable Afenyo-Markin was even in court before Speaker said something. All right, so he filed an injunction, you know, to restrain Mr. Speaker in respect of matters that, you know, I mean, that had not yet occurred, okay? Because the Honorable Haruna Iddrisu raised the issue, you know, in a meeting in, I mean, at a rally in Tamale, okay?
That was Dominic Ayene there, and more on that on hot issues later on TV3. I've been joined in the studio by Kojoga Adawudu. He is with the NDC Legal Team. I got that right? Yes, he joins me live in the studio. So, you were in court today. You clearly aren't happy about the latest update. What's your difficulty?
No, thank you, Bsaki. I was in and around the court. Just doing some few things, then I heard that there was a matter going on at the Supreme Court. So I actually went in. Then when I got in, I realized the court has retired to come out with its ruling. For me, I think that the matter is that is what the Supreme Court has said, but I have some disagreement with it in the sense that when you look at the law, what was filed as an ex parte. Ex parte means that it is between the applicant and the court. They don't give notice to the defendant because of the exigencies of the time. But this is a matter that even if you look at the Supreme Court rule, it does not have those rules, but it adopts the High Court rules because it can sit as a High Court. Now, when you adopt that ex parte applications, normally what the court would do, it says that you give the injunction for 10 days because you've not given notice to the other party. Two sides must be heard, all sides. It's a natural justice. So if, you know, what makes it a little bit difficult is that we've not even seen the processes that have been filed. It's not been made public. It is difficult to see what actual processes. You only listen to what was said in court. Now, if that has been filed, the former Chief Justice Accra, he said that ex parte applications are anomalies in our judicial system. It must be used sparingly. So when somebody files an ex parte based on the exigency of time, what normally the court would do is that put the other side on notice. Let him come and you argue. Then we can listen to you. Even though it's an ex parte motion? Yes.
Really?
Yes, the court will order. Sometimes they say, or the court will say, ex parte motion, I will grant you and give you 10 days. Then after 10 days, if you're interested, put the person on notice to come so that I can hear both sides. Because
without
you cannot
necessarily stay in execution of the order?
Yes. So when it's an ex parte, that is what the law says it should be done. I'm only taking it back when it's an ex parte order and the court says that it has to remain until the whole matter is determined. There's litany of authorities which says that it is wrong in law that an ex parte or even interim order will be made perpetually.
One of the issues the court raised was that for a serious matter like this, the 4 people in question should have been invited. You agree with that?
The 4 people in question. So if the court is looking at natural justice, that they've not been given a hearing, right? If they've not been given a hearing, the court can say, yes, we've looked at it. But that will be at the tail end. So if the 4 people have not been heard, then let me hear the other party. What was it? The speaker was clear as to what he was doing. He was applying the provisions of the law, section Article 97, G and H, he was applying that.
Does it matter that in 2020, the NPP had written to the Speaker informing them that the Fomina seat had become vacant because the then parliamentary candidate had decided to go independent.
You see, the law was not clear about whether the party informs you or who informs you. This is a motion that has been brought to Parliament based on those provisions saying that
you mean the provisions in the party constitution?
No. The provisions, MPP chose to go that route. That they wanted to suspend. No, that they have excommunicated the person, that he's no more a member.
Right.
So they have written to the Speaker that we are notifying you that he's no more our member.
Right.
So take the necessary action. So apply the provision.
Right.
And it is the same provision that has been applied. In this matter...
Except that the NPP has not written to the Speaker.
Yes.
Saying that the 3 members have
not written.
Right.
Now, a member of Parliament raises the issue that, Mr. Speaker, if you look at this provision, 97, and we apply it, then these people have crossed carpet, or these people have jumped ship from their status, which they had before entering Parliament, into another capacity. So they are no more in the same capacity.
I'm afraid we've got to end this interview. So what's going to happen? Are you going to constitute your legal team to go to court?
I think this is a matter. This is a matter that is between. I understand the Speaker has been served, and I know the Speaker have an astute and renowned lawyer, Thaddeus, and I think he's so competent, he will be able to handle this. But I think as interested parties in the matter also, don't forget one of our MP has also been sit. Yes. So we look at the matter. Once we look at it and we sit, then we look at the law and we'll see what will be the way forward, how we can advise our party.
My final question to you, did the NDC not shoot itself in the foot when Haruna Idrisu stood, on the rally platform to notify, Parliament and the NPP of his intentions? He could have done that without notifying them.
No. When he says that this is clear, this is the law, and I believe that they have breached, so I'm going to take an action. And that's what he said was good, and he has done.
That's what got our to try to seek an injunction on this thing.
Now, because if that he has done
that, your party, the NDC caucus, say they will not respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. You know that?
So and how many days we have for election? So you see, this is going to heighten tension in this country. And you see, we should not be oblivious of the fact that the way things are going, and the same thing not represents others in the questions matter. So they say, oh, no representation, they didn't see that. But this one, for constituency will not be represented. You see, that's what the people...
A big thank you to you.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
In studio. You're still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. A lot more on this issue in our subsequent bulletins. Now, parents of students in second cycle institutions are incensed about the sudden change in the academic calendar. The Ghana Education Service has announced a new academic calendar for the 2024-2025 academic year. Now, per their statement, current first-year students in second cycle institutions are being promoted to their second year effective October 30. My colleague Janet Brown has more.
The Ghana Education Service's new calendar for second cycle institutions has raised concerns among parents and educators. First year senior high school students who reopened school on September 27, 2024 are to vacate on October 28, 2024 and return to school on October 30, 2024 to immediately begin their second year. This condensed timeline has many worried.
Why has Ghana become like this? The officials who brought this calendar did not experience this when they were in school. They should make a proper calendar. No student goes on a 2-day vacation. I don't understand the new calendar. You have destroyed the education system in Ghana. The officials have to make changes.
Despite the concerns, Ministry of Education PRO Akwesi Kwarteng says the rationale behind this change is to revert to the pre-COVID-19 calendar.
The change has become necessary so that as a country we are able to harmonize and align our academic calendar to reverse back to the system that we used to have before. That is where, in terms of WASI, we're having students writing WASI May, June, and of course, students also beginning the academic calendar in September.
The decision, however, poses significant challenges. Students who completed their basic education certificate examination barely 3 months ago will begin their secondary education on October 30, although they are yet to receive their results. Parents are concerned about the insufficient time to prepare their children.
The period of it is very short because whatever it is, we have to prepare and buy some other provisions and whatever it is.
The Ministry of Education is, however, urging parents to adapt.
One may argue that it's short, but if you recall, at every point, even just...
Away from that, the 18-year-old student from O'Reilly Senior High School, Edward Bsaki, who tragically lost his life due to an alleged stabbing incident on campus, has been laid to rest. Family and friends gathered in deep shock to honor his memory.
The funeral brought together staff from the Ghana Education Service, teachers, schoolmates, and numerous family members and friends, all united in grief. Emotions ran high as the body was carried to the cemetery, with wailing and cries resonating throughout the gathering. As mourners made their way to the cemetery, a distressing incident occurred when one person fell off a truck carrying some of the sympathizers, rendering him unconscious. At the graveside, friends of Edward were overwhelmed with grief, crying unconsolably as they bid farewell to their beloved friend. Some friends shared their heartbreak with our news team, expressing their disbelief and sorrow over the loss.
I know Edward to be in person. People say he's that kind of gangster lifestyle, but if you are with him, you know that he's very cool. He's somebody that always listens, obey. After obedience is really number one, and he won't lie to you. So, to be frank, Edward personally has been a very, very terrible news that we've heard, and we are all feeling very, very bad listening to what has happened to him.
He's very friendly. Even the day he will go to school, before the incident will happen, the two of us, he even informed me that, oh, I did go come. So that was the thing that if I remember, then I don't know how to control myself. It's really hectic.
Edward's father took the opportunity to express his disappointment in the Ghana Education Service for their lack of support and compensation for the family during this tragic time.
GS, they have made it understand that they will put in discipline at the school. What this happened, it will not happen again.
Tonight, a community comes together to mourn the loss of 2 young lives. A white candlelight vigil is currently underway to honor the memories of 2 12-year-old girls who died in a tragic accident at East Legon last Saturday. Mame Jumo Boateng and Justin Agbenu died tragically when a minor who was driving on high speed crashed into their vehicle, causing the deceased girls to bend beyond recognition. Now let's take you live to the ground where George Quinin is for more details. George, what more can you tell us?
A very good evening. Sad evening right here at East Legon, and this is actually the scene of the incident that happened on Saturday. So an all-white candlelight vigil is currently underway for these 2 young girls, and they've been identified as 12-year-olds. That's Mame Jumo Boateng and Justin Agbenu. You can see a bouquet of flowers here in their honor, and family, friends are here mourning and also showing some sort of solidarity for these two young girls. I have Annette here, who is the sister to one of the kids. Annette, it's a family friend to one of the girls. And I know you're very sad. How would you describe the mood this evening?
I'm in pain.
So, an update to this very incident is the fact that the father of the minor has actually come out to apologize. It was very emotional when I tried on social media. You are a family member. Put yourself in the shoes of the parent. How would you feel?
I honestly wouldn't want to.
I'm afraid we've got difficulties with that sound bite there, but of course that's a vigil being held for the two girls who died in that tragic accident last Saturday. A reminder, you're still watching News360. This is our major news bulletin for the day. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. Aisha, we're taking a break.
And we'll be back shortly with business.
One bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
The Ghana Stock Exchange's vision is to be a world-recognized securities market relevant to Ghana and indeed Africa's economic transformation. We are bringing our vision to life by providing platforms for the private sector and public institutions to raise the patient capital necessary to fund their growth.
Listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange exposed MTN Ghana to a much larger market. Typically, when companies list on the stock exchange, they're probably looking to raise equity financing for the business. Of course, our motivations were a bit different, and the intention of localization as part of the 4G license was also different. It had more of a developmental objective for Ghanaians to partake in the profits and the success of MTN in Ghana.
Fellow countrymen and women, the desperate NPP, realizing that they are losing the 2024 elections, has once again resorted to lies to smear the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The NPP's claim that Mahama was against free SHS and will cancel it when elected is nothing but a barefaced lie calculated to deceive you. John Mahama started the implementation of the progressively free SHS program in 2015 with day students and had a clear plan to expand the program to cover borders, hence cannot be said to be against free SHS. What he has been against is the poor implementation of the program. Contrary to the lies of the NPP, the next NDC Mahama government will improve the implementation of the free SHS program to make it better. We will do this by scrapping the double-track system, provide a dedicated source of funding for the program, include private SHS, improve the feeding of our children, and enhance the quality of learning outcomes. Listen to the truth from the horse's own mouth.
Free senior high school education has come to stay. If anybody tells you that I, John Dramani Mahama, son of E.A. Mahama, will abolish free SHS when I come, tell the person he's a bloody liar. What I'm against is the poor implementation of the free SHS, which is creating great inconvenience for the parents, for the students, and for the teachers. And one of the things we'll do when we come back into office, and I know inshallah we're coming back into office, is to complete the 200 community day schools that we began, so that we can bring a quick end to the double-track system.
Beware of the NPP's lies. Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
He's going to play in this weather? Why did you let him go? He might fall ill.
And if he doesn't go out for practice, how will he win more trophies? To protect our family from illness-causing germs during the rainy season, we use Dettol soap every day.
Dettol with Germ Defense gives you protection. Rainy season brings a lot of illness-causing germs, and Dettol soap's Germ Defense protects you from these germs. Be Dettol sure.
This advert is FDA approved.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN.
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Good evening and welcome to the business segment on News360. My name is Menu Afo. We'll go straight to the details of our stories. Now, in the quest to combat financing challenges associated with the changing climate, the Finance Ministry has launched a climate financing division. According to Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, the formation of this division contributes significantly to aligning Ghana's institutional structures to meet the requirements of the global financing landscape.
As proof of how our economic management is intrinsically linked to ecological stewardship, these dry spells prompted major economic analysts to contemplate a downward review of our economic growth. These changes reflect Ghana's demand for reform. Let me also say, ladies and gentlemen, that financing conditions have been very tight over the last 2 years, and the future is uncertain. This division will elevate our climate finance initiatives, enabling us to attract international funding, partner with domestic and external private sector investors, and implement programs that promote green growth. The Climate Financing Division has been formed from the nucleus of the ESWAL Natural Resource, Environment and Climate Change Unit under the Economic Strategy and Research Division.
In more stories tonight, Chafa's Institute of Practical Studies has signed an MOU with the Kumasi Technical University to promote skills training in the country. Speaking after the signing ceremony, Chief Executive Officer Christopher Edujemfi said the partnership will provide students with technical expertise to turn solutions into reality.
Chafa's Institute of Practical Studies is a training institute offering training in skilled trade in areas like forklift operators, excavators operators, fashion, among others. The institute offers outstanding, excellent, precise, and highly in-depth short-term business skills training. The institute also offers top, best, professional, applicable, practical training in various fields. Under the Memorandum of Understanding, both the Kumasi Technical University and Chafa's Institute of Practical Studies are willing to enter a collaboration arrangement to promote skills training in the country. The Vice Chancellor of the Kumasi Technical University, Professor Gabriel Drummond, said TVET is the way to go for this country. He pointed out that TVET has created projects that seek to find solutions to unemployment. He emphasized the significance of TVET education in the country. The Chief Executive Officer of Chafa's Institute of Practical Studies, Christopher Edujemfi, believes the MOU is a step forward in enhancing their work.
What we seek out to do from here on is to continue what we do, but this time make it more enhanced, in a sense that with the collaboration of the university, together what we do, we believe that together we can channel out enough effective manpower for the nation-building agenda. When they looked at us and what we do, they saw that what we do meets the standard, so that fostered the collaboration.
The Ashanti Regional Manager of Chafas Institute of Practical Studies, Reverend George Owusu, described the institute as result-oriented.
We are results-oriented, where we develop the skills of people from all walks of life, people coming from outside Ghana or for the future. Even from today, we believe that those who join the Chafas and the collaboration we've just signed will see Ghana in a different dimension, and it's going to be beneficial.
Moving on, Deputy Chief Executive of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Samuel Dentu, is urging entrepreneurs and the youth to capitalize on opportunities in the coconut industry, stressing its potential to surpass traditional commodities and help alleviate unemployment in Ghana. In an interview with 3 Business ahead of the 2024 International Coconut Festival in Ghana, he highlighted various support systems for those interested in coconut production.
Globally, coconut production stands at approximately 62 million tons, employing over 90 million farmers and supporting more than 60 million households. The coconut industry is valued at around $18 billion and is growing at about 13% annually. Notably, coconut water is emerging as the fastest growing beverage, with production led by Brazil.
Japan, knowing the impact that coconut can have on the economy, decided to partner the African Coconut Group and the Coconut Federation of the country to, first of all, revamp or revitalize the industry. And as we took steps to revitalize the industry in terms of providing seedlings to anybody who wanted to be part of revitalizing.
Executive Director of the Africa Coconut Group, Bulletin, noted that the coconut sector offers more sustainable opportunities than galamsey.
Coconut is a zero-waste crop. It is found in every sector of our economy. The pharmaceutical sector, the food and beverage sector, the automobile sector, in every aspect of industrialization. In Brazil currently, they are manufacturing about 10 million cars. And these are cars which are uses biodiesel because they want to use eco-friendly cars. The best form of diesel, biodiesel, comes from coconut.
The 2024 International Coconut Festival is themed Empowering Lives Through Coconut Innovation, Employment and Sustainable Livelihoods.
That's how we wrap up business on News360. My name is Minu Afo. Please stay with us. Sports News is up next.
Million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
Yo, guys, can you believe Momo is 15 years in Ghana?
Really?
Yes, it's been 15 years of Fatumi Fon Somame. Wow.
15 years of Shami Momo.
15 years of Loyazo.
15 years of I've paid the school fees.
Charlie, breaking news! Win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 rewards promo! Guy!
Just download the new My Momo app, transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 people to win 15,000 cedis each, and one of the 150 people to win 1,500 cedis each. Hurry, Ghana! Download the new My Momo app and start getting rewarded today.
Yo, you download them. Download. I stop being safe.
It is the Momo at 15 celebrations with MTN Momo. Pay faster, pay safer, pay easier, and just Momo it.
All be lie.
Thank you, boss. See you next week. Yo, where do my passport? Where is my passport?
Yo, man, I want to Waba.
What is that, Maba?
And then it's special.
Give me
passport.
Relax.
You made me pay for express for 24 hours, and yet it's not in.
You told me last year telling me this.
What's
going on? Hello.
This man here has taken my money. That within 24 hours, he'll do my passport for me.
Oh,
see, that's
the same thing applies to me. He told me last night. He's telling me this week.
process.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Oh, madam. Please relax. I'll get for you in 24 hours.
Hey, Goroma. So you never change? Eh? You get passport for someone within 24 hours, Madam Obwa. See, the normal working hours is 9 to 5. Eh? Not 24 hours, yeah, I'm fat. I'm fat. You guys have made a very big mistake by trusting these people. Now, through digitalization, passport application has been made so easy. Now, you don't need to stress yourself and join any long queue for your passport. All you have to do is to log on to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and begin your application. By buying a passport application voucher online. Simple and easier. And very soon, all you need to get your passport will be your Ghana card. What is it true? Yeah, Obisa. It is possible.
Essuroho, boot number 1 on the ballot.
Sanlam and Allianz is now Sanlam Allianz, Africa's largest insurer.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
I see, Monsieur Namid 200 Ghana Kujasu, sister. Buy you in 5 cities and 40 Ghana. Hey, take one container your 40 to 50 pesos and not 20 Ghana. And a dancing or look at 30 Ghana. Adai, on my bay money away.
Oh, so Casa, me show Dean. Sha, Doctor me 20 Ghana. Ah, me pay for me 15 Ghana cedi a day. Oma be na ewomi ya koya na ate yesan bae
hwe enye duane bo nko an ekosoro John Dramani Mahama time Smith 1 bag ne ye 24 Ghana cedis me nkoto Smith 1 bag a yesi eye 108 cedis ayon ross ye beton sen it is say wo si dan a sen na wo be say John Dramani Mahama ba ma giye a ye be wo
ya nya bibia fa ho okom be kuyen yo
okom ne de enkuyen ye be fa ye ho adwen pa na MPP aban wadi ehwamo ankasa
media minim wo haw na media mehwe masetirem na mato abapa
ene sa na tie de a eye akufu adone ni ba wo mi a nyame ya dom ne se December 7 dura ye be tuo masese de YouTube
ye be tu ankasa
hwe wasetirem moto abapa e de sakra ya papa beba wa brabo mu to abama John Mahama ne NDC.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishen. Now on to our first story. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Thomas Partey is fit and ready to face Bournemouth in the Premier League on Saturday. Partey missed Ghana's 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying double-header against Sudan with a medical issue. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Thomas Partey is fit and ready to face Bournemouth in the Premier League. Now, Partey missed Ghana's AFCON qualifying with a medical issue, albeit withdrawing from the squad after initially being named in it. Ghana went on to lose the second of the 2 games against Sudan after playing out a 0-0 stalemate at the Accra Sports Stadium on October 10. The Black Stars' deputy captain has been fundamental for Mikel Arteta's side in the ongoing season, started all 7 league games for the Gunners. Now, to put things into perspective, there have been 12 instances where Thomas Partey has missed out on the Black Stars squad for various reasons since joining Arsenal. And from the screen there, November 2020 to September 2022, there were injuries, there were also knocks, and there were some other reasons that Thomas Partey missed out on the Black Star squad. In September 2023, he of course missed the AFCON qualifiers with a groin injury. There's also a hamstring injury, another hamstring injury again, and he asked to be excused from friends, and he also withdrew from the squad due to illness just recently. Moving on to the local scene, Second D 11 Wise was one of the biggest clubs in Ghana football many years ago. Formed in 1919, Second D 11 Wise is Ghana's second oldest existing club, but the club has struggled lately and have embarked on a fresh bid to return to the Ghana Premier League top flight. Francis Hema has the rest of the story from Second D Accra.
Costa doesn't even describe the turbulent times Second D 11 Wise has gone through. From multiple relegations, ownership dispute and financial struggles, they have been through it all. Despite years of struggles, the club's faithful fans remain steadfast, treating 11 Wise as a religion, one they worship. 11 Wise's glory days was in 1960 when they lifted the Ghana Premier League, but that is now a distant memory. Their most popular days were perhaps in 1980 when, under the ownership of the late Akable Mienza, they became the first Ghanaian club to travel outside Ghana pre-season in Brazil. Albert Yanko was part of the players who flew to Brazil for the historic trip.
83 Brazil. Test match for Accra. It's a coin so. Passing off from email. I'm going to first go. Was first half from a draw. So I saw him coughing 4-2. CB and the Premier say, even there, on Yamako Brazil, and all the question. The question is fine.
Since then, things have gone pretty much up and down for 11 Wise. The last they were in the Ghana Premier League was 14 years ago. They have since struggled with series of relegations to their third tier of Ghana football in the second division. After a 7-year stint in the second division, 11 Wise now compete in Ghana's first division, reigniting hopes of a resurgence. Leading them now on the touchline is one of their own, Abdul Malik, who played and coached them in the past.
The love for the club. Like you are saying, I played and I coached as let me say, a wise somebody. And it is something that I want to see the club at the highest level. That has been my main target, to see it back to where it belongs to. That is it.
The Western Showboys continue their quest to reclaim the sport where they belong in Ghana football circles. There will be many rooting for the Accra boys.
That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Ishen. Up next is entertainment with Ajua Noela.
Million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
There is a business in every woman. And then she works, juggling all that matters to her in seeming effortlessness. One thing is for sure. There is a business in every woman. Introducing Telecel Women in Business, our initiative to empower women-led and women-owned enterprises. Accelerate your growth with finance and investment initiatives. Extend your reach with a free business website, access to digital and physical marketplace. Be empowered through exclusive networking and thought leadership platforms. Enjoy bonus reward with our Red Loyalty and lots more. To benefit from this initiative, be a female-led business and a Telecel business customer. Visit telecel.com.gh/business to register now.
Telecel. Connecting energies. Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Every child is so unique. You like no other. Outstanding in every way. It's me like no other. So anytime you walk and play, you like no other. You are special like Indomie. It's me like no other.
Did you know that
that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other? As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook, I can paint. You like no other. You like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy. I love my Indomie.
This advert is FDA approved.
After this fufu and pepper soup, I'll go score goals like them the dash points.
Kibo 100% natural hot pepper. Good for your jollof, stew, soup, shito, spaghetti, and noodles. Kibo hot pepper. Moko show.
I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kibo 100% natural hot pepper. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by
Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening and welcome to the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Zoella Donko. Now, renowned sound engineer Apia Dankwa, known popularly as Apietus, has called for investment in the music industry to help promising talents kickstart their careers. Now, speaking at a meeting with the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, Apietus pushed for a scheme to provide access to grants and soft loans to artists to help elevate their careers.
The creative industry can be challenging to break into as funding is often a barrier for aspiring artists. Renowned sound engineer Pietus has argued that creative arts funding is essential to growth and development of the music industry. Speaking at the NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Baumia's recent encounter with the arts and tourism fraternity, the hitmaker noted that without funding, many artists would not have the resources they need to create their work.
I'm a music producer, so the knocks on my door is just crazy. Mr. Apia, help me. Help me. People finish secondary school or they want to record. Usually it's about the money. Like apart from the studio, you need to promote the song. So much trouble.
Pietus proposed a scheme to provide access to grants for emerging artists to kickstart their career.
New talents and the rest can go there and get some sort of grant or loan or soft loan that they can actually kickstart their careers. You know, to be able to go. Because not everybody can own a studio. It's expensive.
The renowned sound engineer also pushed for the government to partner with existing studios to provide services to artists at a reduced and affordable cost.
And if you say I'm going to build one studio for everybody to work there, that's impossible, right? The amount of artists we have now is too much. Probably also empower the already existing studios and say, okay, Apia, if we do this for you or Kewa and that, you guys are going to give this to the up and coming artists for this price. Because government is also helping you with a certain grant so that people can kickstart, you know, their careers and become great.
Now to some more stories. Ghana's leading music reality show, TV3 Mentor, has returned with an exciting season after an amazing season 12, which produced amazing talents. Now on Sunday, October 20, Mentor season 13 will be launched at 8 p.m. on TV3. The final 16 contestants, as well as the judges for this year's competition, will be outdoored. The contestants were selected after a virtual and in-person auditions and a bootcamp session held on October 13. Well, that'll be all for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Zoella Donko. Do have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Noella. Now you can stay informed with the latest news updates and exclusive videos by following us on Instagram at 3news.gh. Get breaking stories, quote cards, and behind-the-scenes content all in one place. Don't miss out on any of this. Follow us at 3newsgh now. Now let's bring you some international news.
U.S. President Joe Biden says there's a possibility of working towards a ceasefire in Lebanon, but it will be harder to achieve in Gaza. He made the comment during his one-day visit to Berlin, where he held talks with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, French President Emmanuel Macron, and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Biden earlier said that the killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar in Gaza raises the prospect of a ceasefire in the year-long war, but Netanyahu has said it was not the end. Sinwar, who topped Israel's most wanted list, was the key figure behind the 7th October attacks and was killed after Israeli troops attacked a building in Rafah. Hamas has confirmed their leader was killed in combat, but says his death will only strengthen the group. North Korea has shipped 1,500 soldiers to Russia for training, South Korea's spy agency said on Friday, describing the move as the first step in the secretive state military involvement in Moscow's war against Ukraine. The hermit nation transported its special forces fighters on 7 Russian ships earlier in October, South Korea's National Intelligence Service (NIS) said in a press release on Friday.
Well, that's all for News 360. Thanks very much for watching. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Kwesi Asari.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Up next is Just Us Tonight with Nashoko.